Hi friends, welcome to Beautifully Bookish Bethany. Today's video is my summer TBR. So these are the books that I'm planning to read in the months of July, August, and September. I've been doing quarterly TBRs. As always, these TBRs are like somewhat tentative. I probably won't get to everything on this list, but I'll get to a fair number of them. And the books that I have for book clubs or read-alongs, those I will definitely be reading. So this will give you a pretty good idea of many of the books that I'll be picking up in the coming 3 months. So we're going to dive into those. But first, if you are interested in coming with me and my friend Izzy from Happy for Now on a bookish retreat next January at a resort in Costa Rica, there is a link down below where you can go and check out all of the information. The deadline to sign up, I believe, is October 8th. So there is not unlimited time. There are currently 5 early bird spots left available, and it is going to be a very relaxing and chill post-holiday bookish retreat. We're gonna have a spa day. For those who want, we'll do a little bit of an easy hike through the jungle with some lovely waterfalls, picturesque places to take pictures. There are pools and places to have drinks and probably delicious fresh fruit. And we are having a book club as well. So very excited about that. But again, there is a link down below if you want to go and take a look at all of the details, and we would love to have you come along with us. We're going to start with the books I'm reading for book clubs and read-alongs. One thing to note is my camera has finally kind of given out after several years, and so I am filming on my phone, which means I do not have the names of all of the authors. However, I will be putting pictures of all the books right here, and there will be a list in the video description down below where you can find those. Just a heads up, I'm gonna do my best if I remember it, but I am just now realizing I can't just easily look it up, and also I can't easily look up information about it. So I'm going to do my best to tell you what I know of these books. Please bear with me. I do have a fair number of physical books as well on this TBR, so this more applies to Neck Alley books that I don't have physical copies of, but just a little heads up there. Let's start with the books we're reading for my Patreon and channel member book club. This is always fun. We have a different theme every month, and my patrons get the chance to help vote on what book we're gonna read. So in July, the theme was a mystery or thriller recommended by a booktuber, and the book that won was my friend Mara at Books Like Woe's pick, which I'm very excited about. This is Every Time I Go on Vacation, Someone Dies. I think the author is Catherine Mack, something Mack. I want to say, I don't know it off the top of my head, you can see it right here, but this looks like a lot of fun. This is what everybody voted on, and I'm excited to read it as well. It's supposed to be kind of an entertaining murder mystery, which seems like a good pick for July, a good beach read. So then in August, what happened was I realized when I made my book club calendar at the beginning of the year, I left off a month. And so I was like, you know what? August is just going to be a wild card month of all the books on my TBR that I most want to read, the things that I would really like to get to and haven't had a chance to. And so the book that was chosen from that list, which is highly specific, was The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett, which I'm really excited to read. I've heard so many good things about this. It is a fantasy murder mystery mashup. Let's be honest, did I buy it because of the cover? I bought it because of the cover, but I'm really looking forward to finally reading this and getting it off my TBR. So we're reading that in August. And then for September, in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, we are reading a magical realism or speculative book by a Latine author. And the book that was chosen was When the Tides Held the Moon by Vanessa Vida Kelly, which I'm very excited about. This is an LGBT book. It has a merman in it. The reviews look great. The cover is gorgeous. This was far and away the winner of the poll, so I'm very much looking forward to reading that in September. I also have an in-person romance book club that I attend. I don't know what we're going to be reading for all 3 months, but I do know what we're going to be reading in July, and it is a book that's been sitting on my TBR, so I'm happy to read it. This is Along Came Amor by Alexis Daria, a steamy love story of a divorced school teacher who discovers that her perfect no-strings fling is anything but. Sounds like fun. I love our book club, and I think the author is going to be there, so that'll be really fun to hear from her. Looking forward to that. Lastly, for the things that I am absolutely definitely reading are the final 3 books in our Mass Effect read-along. We're like almost 2 years in, and we're finishing it up. There are 3 books we haven't read yet. We've been reading through all of Sarah J. Maas's books, and it was my first time rereading Almost all of these, there's only one of them that I had reread previously, and it's been really fun and very illuminating. So we've had live streams if you want to go back and find them. In the month of July, we will be reading A Court of Silver Flames. I loved this book so much. It is a very controversial book, and I'm so curious to see if I love it as much the second time around. So that should be interesting. In August, we are reading House of Sky and Breath, the second book in the Crescent City series. And then we will be finishing it up in September with House of Flame and Shadow, the third, and so far at least, final book in the Crescent City series. This one is long, so it's going to be a chunky book to get through. Like, would I be shocked if the live for this gets pushed into October? Not really, but we'll see what happens. We'll see if we can make it through in the end of September. So looking forward to all of those. Those are all of the books that I am definitely reading for book clubs and read-alongs. Next, let's look at my big stack of physical books that I have for review. I will tell you all the rest of the books on this TBR are books I have for review, books that were sent to me, books that I either requested on NetGalley or were sent to me from publishers. I don't even think I will get to all of them, although I will probably get to many of them, maybe the majority of them, in the next 3 months, because I've been working full-time and not reading nearly as much as I used to, which is a struggle because so many great books are getting sent to me. It seems like the rate at which I'm getting books for review has just increased as my time for reading has decreased. So this is a problem. It's a problem. But let's dive into these, and then I'll talk about my NetGalley books. I think in order to read everything on my list, I would have to read like 16 books a month, which isn't totally out of reach, but it's unlikely. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. First up, coming out in August, is The Gilded Heiress by Joanna Shupe. I am really excited for this. It is a historical romance that is an Anastasia retelling set in New York City's Gilded Age. In 1880, a baby was stolen from the wealthiest family in America. Though no ransom was ever demanded, the Pendleton family never gave up hope, and their reward became the stuff of legend. I think this will be fun. I've read from her before, and I love a historical romance, even if they're not selling as many of them. Oh, and this is from Avon. I got that from Avon. From Simon Teen, I have The Moss by Lisa Ludecki, which is an interesting cover. I think it's a re-release of a horror novel, A Girl, a Bog, a Mystery. So there's a girl whose sister has disappeared and the police have no leads. They're in northern Maine. Neighbors are spreading rumors about their father's involvement, and the vast bogland known as the Moss lies in wait beside the house like a hungry beast. So looking for her sister sounds interesting. The author is a book blogger turned writer, so we'll give that a shot. From Little Brown, I actually got a copy of this from the editor who I know socially. It sounded like fun. It was something that they were really excited about. This is In the Veins of Drowning by Kaylee Cassidy. It is coming out July 15th. An atmospheric and evocative romantasy debut about a threatened siren who forges a bond with a brooding, self-righteous king in order to flee the king who raised her, for fans of One Dark Window and For the Wolf. Sounds fun. From Saga Press, coming out July 1st, I have A Forbidden Alchemy by Stacey McEwen. I follow her on TikTok and she makes really funny videos, but I've never tried her books. But this one sounded interesting, so I'm excited to give it a try. Peaky Blinders meets Six of Crows in this new slow burn romantasy. All Nina has ever wanted is to become an artisan. All Patrick seeks is a craftsman revolution. Will they choose their greatest desires or each other? It sounds like fun. I do love some romantasies, so looking forward to trying that one out. Then from Daw, we have a book that sounds phenomenal. This is House of Dusk by Diva Fagan. This is like a queer dark fantasy, a romantic epic fantasy featuring a fire-wielding nun grappling with her dark past and a young spy caught between her mission and a dangerous attraction. I love it. Dark nun, sure. Sapphic romantic elements in a fantasy. I am here for that. It sounds great. When is this one coming out? This comes out August 26th. A lot of stuff coming out in August. And I have a book that I was sent a copy of for review, but also I picked up my own copy at a signing, but I want to read it. This is a little different from what I normally read. Dyke Delusions, Essays and Observations by Samantha Mann. This is a nonfiction essay collection about being queer, about motherhood, about dealing with trauma, a bunch of things, and I loved hearing from her at the event, so I'm looking forward to reading that. Also coming out in July is We Won't All Survive by Kate Alice Marshall. Lights, camera, murder. I do really, really love Kate Alice Marshall. I love all of her books. This is her latest YA thriller. Everyone has something to hide. 2 years ago, Mercy Gray was hailed as a hero for saving lives during a mall shooting. She still carries souvenirs from that day, the fragment of a bullet lodged in her back, the mountain of medical debt, and guilt for ignoring her sister's warnings that the sweet boy next door was anything but. So when billionaire turned TV host Damien Dare recruits Mercy to compete on his new survivalist reality show, I love a reality show book, y'all, she can't turn down the chance at a whopping cash prize that could send her sister to college. But when she and the other contestants arrive at the off-grid location, something isn't right, and someone ends up dead. I am very excited about this. I want to read it soon. It's been so hard not having time to read as much as I usually do because there's so many books that I want to read. I am going to read that one though. Penguin Teen. Thank you, Penguin Teen, for that. Also, I guess I should say Dyke Delusions was sent to me by a PR company. And then Valentine, Bantam, and Dell did an event where I had a bunch of books that came in from them. And so there's a couple books from them on this TBR, including We Don't Talk About Carol by Kristen L. Berry. This is a debut crime fiction novel by a Black author, which I like to pick up because I feel like we don't get as many of them, and so I love to see it. A dedicated journalist unearths a generations-old family secret and a connection to a string of missing girls that hits way too close to home in this gripping debut novel. In the early 1960s, 6 Black girls from the same North Carolina neighborhood went missing. Only one of them was made a ghost. It sounds really interesting. Reviews look good. I'm looking forward to trying that. Also from a PR company, I have Party of Liars by Kelsey Cox. Her birthday will be the death of them. This also comes out in July. It is a debut thriller that is like a locked room whodunit situation with a girl who has a 16th birthday party set in Texas, and she's like really wealthy, and then a body falls from the balcony onto the dance floor right before they cut the cake. And it's like, who did it? And that sounds like a lot of fun. So it's supposed to be very twisty. Then a friend of mine at HarperCollins gave me 2 highly anticipated arcs that I am excited to read. First up is Warrior Princess Assassin by Bridget Kemmerer. This is her adult romantasy debut. It is coming out August 25th, so I'm excited to try it. Fates collide and passions ignite in the steamy adult fantasy debut about 3 characters torn between chasing, betraying, and craving each other. A princess caught between duty and desire, the fearsome warrior king she's promised to, and the assassin tasked with hunting them down. Sounds like fun. And then the one that I was like, yes, please, I need this so much. I'm really excited. I want to read it soon, but it doesn't come out until October. So I'm like, maybe I should wait. But y'all, Our Vicious Oaths by Annie Davenport, author of The Blood Trials, which I was obsessed with. This is her first adult romantasy novel. I'm so excited. Romantic fantasy is what they're saying. A journey of powerful magic, enemies to lovers romance, and political intrigue as a warrior princess and a vengeful king from rival fae courts form a fierce alliance to take down a merciless despot. I am so excited. I am sure this is going to be fantastic. I love her writing so much. Thank you to Isabella for giving me these books. I'm very excited to have them. That's coming out from Harper Voyager. Orbit sent me a copy of S.A. McLean's next book, and I am a little sad that it's not set in the same world as her cozy sapphic fantasy that she came out with, because that was great, but this also looks really good, so I'm excited to read it. This is coming out in August, and it is called Voidwalker. Look at that cover. Amazing. Would it be so bad to be devoured? I'm getting a lot of romantasy. I feel like that is the moment we are in right now. Fee smuggles contraband between worlds, stockpiling funds and stolen magic to keep her village free from the blood sacrifices humans have paid an immortal species for centuries. Only legends whispered through the pine forest recall a time when things were different. Before, one world shattered into many and the flesh-devouring beasts crept from the cracks between realities, with their sable antlers and slender tails, lethal claws and gleaming fangs. Now, mortal lives are food to pacify their carnivorous overlords, exchanged for feudal protection and for the precious silver energy that fuels everything from transports to weaponry. Thea has always known the dangers of her trade, but nothing could have prepared her for crossing paths with Antal, for the deals she'll have to make with him, or for it to grow into something far more dangerous, a revolution and a temptation of how sweet the monster's fangs might feel. So we've got monster romance. Sounds like a good time. Thank you to Orbit for that. I've got 2 finished copies of books from Penguin Teen that I meant to have read already and have not, but I will read them soon. They are imminently on my TBR. So thank you to Penguin Teen. This is Always Be My BB by Priyanka Taslim. This looks really fun. It is a YA rom-com about a girl who wanted to get her first kiss that summer, but then her dad grounds her until her sister gets married. So she flies off to her sister's wedding and maybe she meets someone there, but also she doesn't like the guy her sister's gonna marry and decides she needs to save her sister from the marriage. Messy. Sounds like a blast. And then we have The Tournament by Rebecca Barrow. 3 girls, 1 winner, no mercy. This is set at a all-girls boarding school where they have to go through this wild survival type tournament to win at the end of the year, and it's kind of a little bit of a thriller. The competition is deadly and everyone might not make it out alive. Also, another one that is like a YA thriller from a Black author, so if you're looking for more of those, maybe go check out The Tournament. It sounds like fun. I'm excited. 2 more physical books. This is gonna be a long video, y'all. It's so much. 2 more physical books, and then we'll talk about my NetGalley releases. Another one from Ballantine Books is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Listen, Taylor Jenkins Reid is not always the author for me. Some of her books, I'm like, I'm not that interested in the premise. This I'm interested. This I am very interested. It is set in the 1980s space shuttle program about the extraordinary lengths we go to live and love beyond our limits. So it follows a young woman finding her voice and passion at NASA. I hear it's messy. I am very excited to read this. I feel like this is going to be a good one, so it looks fun. My final physical book is coming out September 9th. And it's got a little bit of a story to it. So this is part of a series that has been released previously under various circumstances, but the author had a book that got really big with their current publisher and was like, hey, maybe we could re-release these books and I could edit them given my better writing abilities now. And I'm excited to try them. I have never read any of these books, so it should be interesting. This is Pantomime by L.R. Lamb, which is like a queer circus magic fantasy book. In the land of lost wonders, the past is stirring once more. Micah runs away from a debutante's life at home and joins the circus, harboring 2 secrets. He was born between male and female, and 2, he may have powers last seen in mysterious beings from an almost forgotten age. Micah discovers the joy of flight as an aerialist, courting his trapeze partner Ania, and confiding in the mysterious white clown Dristan. He finally feels free, but the circus has a dark side, and Micah's past isn't done with him. Meanwhile, the strange ghost of a woman with damselfly wings whispers to Micah that only he can help magic return to the realm, and he fears she may be right. I'm excited to read it. It sounds great. Okay. Those are all of the physical books. Now let's talk about the absurd number of NetGalley arcs that I have releasing between now and the end of September. Y'all, at least some of them are novellas, but it's a lot. There's a few that were on my TBR for this month that I didn't get to. Are we seeing a pattern? I'm doing my best. Doing my best. Examples are Amelia If Only by Becky Albertalli. This is a sapphic YA contemporary romance that looks good. Finding Prince Charming by Jamar J. Perry, which is a queer YA royalty gay romance, which also looks like fun. I also have Call Your Boyfriend by Ashley Woodfolk and another author. Their names should be right here. This is a YA contemporary sapphic romance of some sort that looks fun. The Bewitching by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, which I'm so excited. This is another horror novel. It's witchy, multi-generational saga. I'm here for it. I will read anything she writes. A Mastery of Monsters by Lizelle Sambury. This is the start of a new fantasy trilogy, I believe. I think it's a trilogy. I love her work. I'm excited about this. I don't remember the details, but I know it's gonna be great because her stuff is always good. She's the author of Delicious Monsters, which is one of my favorite horror novels. Full disclosure, we were also friends and mutuals, but genuinely love her books. They're great. The Great Misfortune of Stella Sedgwick. This looks fun. This is sort of for fans of Bridgerton, but make it YA. Love to see that. I wish more of the adult romance imprints were getting it together. We need this, but I will take it as YA. This looks like fun. So historical YA romance. Tenderly I Am Devoured by Lyndall Clipstone. This is YA kind of like angsty horror romance. I don't remember the details, but I know I've read from her before and enjoyed it, so I feel like this is going to be fun, but I expect a lot of melodrama. Myra, also don't remember the author's name. It's here. This is adult horror. It looked really interesting. Love is a War Song by Danica. Of course, I cannot think of her name, but she is an Indigenous romance writer, and this looks like a lot of fun. I think it has a pop star as one of the main characters, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm excited to get to that. Tusk Love by Thea Guanzon. This is not something I would normally pick up, but I like her writing and it looks like fun. It's set in the world of Critical Role. I think it's like a romance book that exists in the world of Critical Role, except she's writing it. But it's supposed to be a rom-com and it's fantasy, and that sounds great, and it's not very long, so I want to read it. Taste the Love by two authors who are married. This is a food-related contemporary sapphic romance. I'm here for it. Love it. I think it's adorable when spouses write romances together like this. I think it's really cute. The Undercutting of Rosie and Adam by Megan Bannon. I have no idea what this is about. I did not actually read the description when I requested it. I just know that I have enjoyed other books in this world, and based on the cover and the title, I think it's set in the same world, and so I'm going to listen to it. It will be some kind of a speculative romance in a world with zombies, probably retelling a classic film. The first one was my favorite. It was retelling You've Got Mail, and it was excellent. The second one was sort of based on When Harry Met Sally. Have no idea what this one is. If you know, tell me in the comments down below, but I'm gonna read it and it's gonna be great. This is like the most chaotic TBR because I cannot look up descriptions on my phone, so you're just getting like actually what is in my brain about these books. It's fine. A Waltz on the Wild Side. Very excited for this. It is the final book in this historical romance series that I have been loving. Each of them follow one of these adopted siblings who solve crimes and do undercover stuff, and it is fun and kind of bonkers at times. And this one I think is for the final sibling who trains animals to do spy shit. So I think it's gonna be great. The First 1,000 Trees. Oh, okay, I know what this one is. I was like, what is this book? This is the third novella by Premi Mohammed in this really fantastic sci-fi novella trilogy. It's like dystopian sci-fi, and they're beautifully written. I loved both of the first two and immediately grabbed the next one. Lady Dragon by A.M. Strickland. This is their next YA book. It's queer and has a lady dragon in it, and it's, I think, romantasy. I don't remember the details, but I remember it sounded really great, and I like their writing, so I think that'll be fun. Honey Eater. I don't remember what this was, but I think it's a horror novella. We're gonna go with that. I want to say it's a horror novella. I think that is correct. Yes, I'm pretty sure Honey Eater was a horror novella from Tor that looked interesting, and I requested it. I do love a novella. The Maiden and Her Monster. I don't remember if this was a novella or not, but I do remember that it sounded interesting. It had like feminist, gothic, fairy tale vibes to it, and seemed subversive in some way. And I requested it a while ago. Can I tell you the details? No, but I think it's gonna be great. A Tale of Mirth and Magic. This looks really cute. It is a fantasy rom-com with a plus-size main character, and it sounds delightful and cozy, and I'm excited for it. Joy to the Girls. This is also by Wives, which is cute. It is a sapphic holiday romance novella set in the same universe as some of their full-length novels, which I've read one of and enjoyed, so I'm going to read that. Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher. This is a retelling of something. I think it's another one of her fairy tale retellings. Her books are always great. They're excellent. So I will read it. I will enjoy it. I'm looking forward to it. That one's coming out, I think, in August or September. Oh yes, very excited for this. Can I tell you details? No, but A Land So Wide is Aaron A. Craig. Okay, brain. Love that I can remember names today sometimes. Aaron A. Craig's adult debut, which seems like some kind of a gothic fantasy thing with, I don't know, but I adore her YA books. Her writing is so good. It's so atmospheric and creepy, and she writes amazing characters, and I'm very excited to see what she does with an adult novel. So I will be reading that. The Executioners 3 by Susan Dennard. This is her next YA book. I do not know much about it, but I have pre-ordered it and I have a NetGalley copy of it because I love Susan's writing and I love her, and I think it will be fun. I remember that it sounded like fun. It is YA fantasy, probably. Google exists. You can go and look up these descriptions. Hopefully my very vague descriptions of these NetGalley books will intrigue you enough to go look them up on your own. Well Actually by Maisie Eddings. Oh, I remember this one. This looked really fun. This is a queer rom-com about a guy who has like a dating advice podcast, and I think the girl had gone on a date with him and had a bad experience, and so she posted about it saying like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about, and he invites her to come on his podcast and to do like a do-over but on the podcast and try going on some dates with him. It sounds like a really fun setup. I love this. And then lastly, we have Zom Rom-Com by Olivia Dade, who I adore. She writes phenomenal rom-coms with plus-size main characters, and this one has zombies, and the final cover is glow in the dark, which is so cool. So I'm very excited about that. So there you go. Those are all of the books that are on my fall TBR. I don't know that I will be able to read all of them, but I will probably come really close and I will do my best to read as many of them as possible. And some will probably get rolled over into my winter TBR, but it's fine. A lot of really great stuff though that I am super excited to read. The hard part is finding the time and deciding where to begin. So usually I make myself do it by release date, although occasionally I cheat. So that's how I do that. If you made it to this point in the video, leave me a book stack emoji in the comments down below, because I have a stack of many books that I need to read, and a lot of really good ones. And I would love to hear from you in the comments below. What are your reading plans for the summer? Are any of these piquing your interest? Please tell me, did any of my very vague descriptions of the NetGalley books make you go look a book up? I would love to know. Like, is this doing anything for these books? Hopefully. Maybe the covers will help. I'm doing my best, y'all. So talk to me in the comments down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.